Good evening, everybody. Good evening and welcome to this season's last FPL family. The last FPL family of season 23-24.
Might just be the last at this rate. The way today's gone.
Tell everyone why we're a little bit late, Sam. You've had what can only be described as a busy day. You have no football input to give this evening. You've watched no football whatsoever.
Lee, I can't even tell you the scores.
It's just the busiest day from hell.
I can't even tell you the score.
Do you even know what the Spurs score was?
Yes,
okay,
I do know that.
Okay, good.
So
good.
Score pings me the Spurs score. So for absolute transparency, I have been today or this weekend. Our daughter has been doing her dancing shows, and each each show, including the break.
I'm not even sure the mics are set up right. Bear with me. Go on, you keep talking. Go on.
Each show is 4 hours long.
Yeah.
And so we watched it as a family yesterday and got in very late, and it was all very stressful. And I literally, those of you that watched the Q&A with Az last night will know, I literally turned up 5 minutes before the Q&A.
Yeah, dishevelled
And flustered. Didn't even take my coat off for the whole stream. And then proceeded to order Five Guys whilst I was live with Az so that I had something to eat for dinner. Fast forward to today, you've been doing a football tournament with our little lad. And I, since 9 o'clock this morning, have been dancing with Evie.
And you come in, you've had another Five Guys.
I've had two Five Guys.
2 Five Guys in 5 days.
No, 2 Five Guys in 24 hours.
2 Five Guys
in 22 hours.
If you don't know what Five Guys is, that is burger and chips. It's like posh Mackie D's.
Hey, it's been
fast food hell, isn't it, this weekend?
I feel disgusting. So I watched her dance this morning again. This afternoon, I have been chaperoning 300 girls. And so subsequently, I wasn't really able to check what was happening. So I had my phone like this.
Joseph Robinson's in the chat. He's saying, "Tell Sam Arsenal won the league."
They didn't. I know that didn't happen because SofaScore. I was standing at the side of stage waiting to put Evie's little glass slipper class on, and my phone pinged, and I was like, "Ooh. Spurs." Ooh. So I pulled it out, and I was like, 3-0, and then I was like, really bad. And Evie was like, "What's happened, mummy?" I was like, "Spurs are winning." She was like, "Yes." And then at the end of the games, obviously it told me about Spurs, but it also pinged me to tell me that Man City had won the league. So yes. I do know that has happened.
Yes. Well, I can fill you in with the rest of it, right? Because
I'm sorry, guys. I've basically now. I don't know how much value I'm going to add. I've got a porn star martini.
It's the last game week of the season, Sam. There is no need to add any value. People are not here for value. They're not looking to, who shall I pick for next week? Because there ain't no next week.
Honestly, I feel like a hot mess.
Cheers. Well done on completing another FPL family season number 7 for us, guys. We will be back for season 8 to next year. You can't get rid of us that easily. We'll be back. You're going to have a lie down, and then we'll be back for season 8 and do it all over again next year. But for tonight,
I've only got one of these.
We're just going to say cheers and well done to all of you for making it through this season. It has been up and down, to say the least. Up and down.
Do you not love that though? It's been stressful and chaotic and organised and disorganised, but also I sort of love. I know that you prefer monotony.
What we're going to get next year, I think.
But I sort of love the madness.
Well, sort of do. We'll talk about our teams and how we've ended up, guys. We'll talk about
God knows where I've ended up.
We will talk about.
I think I benched Isak at the last minute.
Oh, don't even get me going on that. It was rumour mill central, wasn't it? So, in the lead up to the game,
and
right?
actually
the games.
Shout out, please, just before we start, to our patrons, because this morning.
Oh yeah.
I'm watching Evie's show. It was supposed to finish at 2:00, and it was getting later and later. So I get my phone and I'm like, guys, I need you to be my eyes and ears because I'm not going to get any. I'm not going to be able to look. So bless them, they were messaging about it, and they were very helpful. But we didn't obviously know. But I stupidly listened to Az, and I second benched Isak. So when Saka didn't play, I was like,
yeah.
Who's my first sub? Was it Cucurella or was it Isak? Cucurella or Isak? And then I thought, I know I moved him to second.
Well, we'll talk about our teams in just a second, Sam. We've had a couple of very generous super chats already. One while we were faffing about trying to sort out the beers and the drinks and stuff.
I'm so sorry, guys. It's my fault entirely.
And you were getting your burger and chips down here. But we're gonna, in actual fact, it was
one in 22
Do you know what? It was that long ago. I don't think it's in the chat anymore. I don't think I can
is this
grab
the one
it
you
in
were
the
talking
chat.
about the what was the chap's name? He had got a guide dog.
Yeah, there was a super chat ages ago, right? But it was I've gone that far back in the chat. People are like, "Come on, hurry up, come on."
Where is it?
There was a super chat. I'm going to try and find it. I do want to try and find it. Yes, here it is. Andy Natras. Thank you, Andy, for the super chat. Very, very kind of you. And guys, honestly, I feel like we've gone to another level with you. Not just this season, but recently. I feel like the last few weeks, for some reason, it's just gone to new levels. But Andy Natras has said, "Hi, Sam and Lee. Wanted to say a massive thank you for being my heroes." Thank you, Andy. That's too much, but thank you. Every Sunday evening, you put a smile on my face. Well, listen, mate. People don't come here for the FPL advice, do they? So we have to do something. So thank you. Wanted to share some good news. After 2 years, I've been matched with my 4th guide dog. So Andy, listen, this is what it's all about. This is what we're here for, guys. This is the community. This is what you've built, right? I'm going to go on a Klopp-style talk Klopp. Now, right?
Actually, have you cried today?
I have.
Oh, sweetheart.
I have.
Are you all right?
Please don't, because I will go again. I will go again. I'm not even joking. Hang
on, I should have bought some tissues, because what is going to happen when we talk about the Liverpool game?
Not sure.
Oh, my love.
There was a moment where I can't even talk about it. We'll do it in a minute. I can't even talk about it. Klopp and Virgil is all I'm going to say.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Can we watch Match of the Day later? Because I've got no... I'll tell you what. It's the saddest thing ever when you invest so much in a season. I did a story this morning as I was panic buying a sandwich for Evie Tweet in the break. And then I was like, I've spent so many hours of my life this season on this league. And I can't even watch the final matches. It was a joke.
Absolutely crazy.
Anyway,
so thank you, Andy, for the super chat. Another one from George, who super chats every week, mate. Seriously,
George, what happened to Brentford today?
Stop it.
What happened to Brentford today? Brentford Newcastle. Oh, Isak did well.
Newcastle smashed them, I'm afraid. Yeah,
sorry, George.
4-2, I think it was in the end. Evening Bombfields, he says. Evening, George. Soppy message incoming. Wait for this
no.
one.
Oh, you're not going to cry again?
No, it's not Klopp related. I love George, but unless he mentions Klopp, and then I'm in big trouble.
Oh, you're going to get loads of chats now about
just a big thank you for everything you do. You've impacted my life in such a positive way. Love everyone in the Slack. Can't wait for Fest in the new season. Love you both. And then he signs off with, "It's coming home."
It is.
George, we love you, mate. We love you. George has been a brilliant addition to our Patreon community, by the way. Sometimes
people turn up in the Patreon Slack and you immediately know from the way that they engage with everyone else that they're going to become a big figure in there. Yeah. And George did that straight away. He's become one of the OGs in there now, even though he's only been here for a few months. It's been lovely, George. We've really enjoyed getting to know you.
Love you along, mate. It really, really is. We've got people saying, Duncan, "Lee, you'll get a bro hug when I see you at Fest." Lukey boy, 1, 2, 3. I was bawling my head off. It is. Am I getting a hug, Duncan, or is it just Lee? You've not been through trauma today. I have. I've not watched any football matches. I tell you, I've been through a different kind of trauma today. I'm going to have to deal with you as well tonight when we watch Match of the Day again. It was. Yeah, let's just talk about it. It was Liverpool fans, get in the chat and tell me what you thought about it. I thought it was really, really fitting. The result was the result, right? It was Wolves did their best to not spoil the party with Semedo getting sent off. And even did he? Semedo got sent off on the 28th minute. And I actually thought it was a bit harsh. But the ref wasn't going to give it, looked at VAR, and then VAR decided to give it. So that's kind of unusual. Even that is unusual against us. It was a little bit high. It was on Macca's ankle. I didn't like it when I saw it, but nevertheless. It was a weird game though, wasn't it? It was a weird game of goals. Because I did actually look at the Liverpool result, because obviously I wanted to check what kind of mood you were in when I got home. And who was it? Konza and somebody else random that scored the goals. It was McAllister and Konza. Yeah. So Harvey Elliott got an assist. I know he did. We'll talk about that in a minute. Thank you, Harvey. Very good shout. But Jarrell Konza as well. And the result was a result. It was what it was. I think Matt Doherty had one ruled out for offside right at the death. That's about 86th, 87th minute header. Tried to ruin the party and take the clean sheet, but it stuck. But it really was all about the post-match. And it was really good. It was just really, really good. No one wanted to leave the stadium. You could see it was just completely packed. And it was... and this is, City fans, if there's any out there watching this, probably not. But if they are... They're all drunk. I quickly flicked between watching the Liverpool game at the end and watching the City game at the end, because I was thinking I would like to see the full time whistle go at the Etihad and just see the celebrations. Yeah. Anfield was absolutely rocking. The Jurgen Klopp song was going, everything. you could hear a pin drop at City. It's just like there was like no party atmosphere whatsoever.
What was happening at Arsenal? Was it tight?
Havertz had scored. It didn't matter. They're 3-1 up. They're going to win the league in 5 minutes. And it was just like, just a general humdrum in the... Just poor, anyway. Not here to talk about City. But
not your red goggles on at all there.
Well, you can listen for yourself and match the day and see what you think. But Liverpool, I thought, handled it really, really well. Obviously, it's not just Klopp leaving, it's all the backroom staff as well.
Yeah.
A couple of big players are leaving, so Matip is definitely going, Thiago Alcantara is definitely going. Mm-hmm. So they did a whole kind of presentation to those guys. Klopp went up on the stage, did a conversation, got an Arnie Slot song going, which is interesting.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Talked about how it was, the connection with the fans, and obviously he's got to discuss that. He was talking about the fact that it was going to be more, he saw it now as more of a start than the end. You look at the team and you look at Gerald Kwanzaa, you look at Harvey Elliott, you look at some of the players that he brought on, you look at Basetic in centre mid, you look at even players like Gakpo. He's not old, right? I know he's been in the league a couple of years, but he's not an old player. Gravenberch is not an old player.
Sure.
But the bit that got me, I have to be careful about how I talk about this, but the bits that got me were... He's obviously got connections with those younger players, right? They all look up to him massively.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, the likes of Maka have been working with him for a year. Szoboszlai's been working with him for a year. So it was the goodbyes that he was saying to Alisson, to Van Dijk, to Salah, to the Robbos, the Trents. Yeah, and Trent was crying. Like there was a big "You'll Never Walk Alone," and all the boys were in like a line in front of the Kop, and Trent's crying and stuff. And I was like, I was gone. I'm telling you, I was gone. When they zoomed in on Trent crying, I'm bawling.
What did Max think of this?
I'm not even joking.
Max must have looked at you like you had 5
He
eggs.
had his tablet and he was playing Roblox and he couldn't give a toss what was going on. But I was bawling my eyes out.
Sweet.
And then there's a moment where Klopp is going around obviously hugging all the players. And he oh God, can't even talk about it. He and Virgil lock eyes and Virgil gives him this look as if to say, this is it, innit? And they just give each other a hug and it's like, you can tell Virgil's like quite emotional.
Why has it made me cry listening to you talk about it?
It was. I'm
not even a Liverpool fan.
It was really, really well done. The club did great, as I expected. Right, no one expected to do anything different, right? But it was brilliantly done. And you guys can tell me what you thought about it. But yeah, I mean, so he gave an interview to.
Who did Klopp?
Klopp did an interview with Carragher and Kelly Cates, and then. That was it. Kelly Cates was just like...
Goodbye.
He said... She was like, and that's it. We'll now be covering the Man City coverage. And that was it. And it went to the ads and I was like... Oh. I actually was like, shit, that's it.
Did you wish you were in Anfield?
I was like, that's it. Well, Anfield had started to clear out. So there was about half of the sort of fans still left by the time he was doing his interview. So he'd done his speech and he'd done all that. And they'd done a lap of honour and all that. So the kids were out and all that sort of stuff, right? And it was great. So yeah, I would have loved to have been there. Obviously. It was really, really good, really, really good. But yeah, end of era stuff. But if you haven't seen it, have a look at that moment when he and Virgil just have a hug after the game. I was like, it's gone, absolutely gone.
But new beginnings.
But new beginnings, yes, absolutely new beginnings. And as he quite rightly says, and this is what we got to hold on to throughout the summer. Is he's not, this is not a, and you said it a couple of weeks ago, and I disagreed on the stream, as you said, well, there's, we're a team, there's going to be a transition. I don't think there is. I think this team is ready. Slot has got such a great 11 to work with.
He has.
Such a great team of youngsters to work with. He just needs to go in there and do the business. And Klopp's left him with something really, really good.
The only reason I think it's a transition is because it inevitably is a little bit when you're learning a new manager. And it's not so much that the team is in transition. It's that the team have to transition from Klopp's management style to Slot's style. And he has to learn how this bunch of players behave and the best way to get the very best out of them.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
That may be a transition that happens uber quickly, and it happens straight after the Euros when they come back to Liverpool, having had a little bit of a break, and that they get it done in pre-season. It might be something that takes August as well. You just have to wait and see. It could be something that takes all season, because some of these players have played for Klopp for years and years. I think the ones that you mentioned before, the likes of McAllister and Szoboszlai, who have been there for less time, will transition a lot quicker. Gakpo with his Netherlands connection probably also transitions quite easily. But how do Trent and Van Dijk and those big names, and Salah if he's still there, how quickly do they adjust to a new manager. Now, they're professionals, so probably fairly quickly, but you just never really know.
Yeah. For sure, the leadership team there, the core of it, so Salah, Alisson, Virgil, who else is in there?
Robbo.
I think Trent's in there as well as kind of a younger leader, and
He's
then
the
Robbo
vice,
as
isn't
well.
he?
Yeah,
Trent?
I think he is. Yeah. So that those guys will, they have stepped up a lot this year. You forget, right? Last summer we lost Millie and Henderson, right? Two massive
Big names.
leaders, big voices, right? Say what you want about their footballing ability, and Millie was well gone by the time he left, and Hendo was Hendo. But that's, you take that leadership out of the team, and the rest of that leadership community and has to step up, and they massively did this year.
But it
was great.
As you said before, it's not just Klopp, it's every other member of the backroom team that's gone alongside him, and it's those kind of transitions that take longer. It's the new goalkeeping coach, it's the new free set piece taker. It's all of that stuff that just takes a little bit longer, that's all.
It was emotional, guys, and I was emotional, no doubt about it.
I think you still are emotionally. I don't think that you're over it. I'm
going to watch it again on Match of the Day, and I'm going to be emotional again, I'm pretty sure. But I'd make no... listen, I'm not making any apologies for being emotional about it. He's given us 8, 9 amazing years, and I think when you look back at it, and you look at sorry, for all the non-Liverpool fans here, this is just like, get on with it, Lee. But it is a big deal that he's leaving, and I think when the Netflix documentary comes out, and all of the social media stuff with some of the highlights of his 8 years, the corner taken quickly, the Lovren comeback against Dortmund, the Simicast penalty in the cup final, there's just so many moments that have been like my top football moments. Like, my top 5 football moments are probably all Klopp moments. And it's just like, you've Klopp management moments, if you know what I mean.
I get it,
yeah. So it's a sad day, but yeah, we have to move on. Wilco, thank you for the super chat, mate. Just wondering if Sam will let me pick her team game week 1 next year. Should have let me put Foden in. Tell the story, he says.
Yeah, tried to take Maddison out, who was great in the early weeks, though. So I'm not having this, Wilco.
He says, not seen any footy today, same as you. He was on dad duty. So bring on the slot, he says, for next year. Bring on the slot. Duncan Crawford, thank you for the super chat. Another cracking year in the Slack. Thank you, mate. So glad I joined all those years ago. Yeah, mate, it's been a while.
Long
time. It's been a while. So many memories. Wouldn't change it for the world. Love you both loads. Thank you, mate. It has been a proper pleasure in the patron Slack in particular this season. It's been so
and
good.
I am really genuinely sorry for being so rubbish in there today, because I would have, you 100% know, I would have spent this afternoon in there chatting with you all, and I will later. Lee was apparently just crying, and I was, oh God, let's not talk about me.
And thank you, Scott Schrager, one of
the
our
OG.
OGs. Thank you, FPL family, for everything you two do. Also, thank you on another great year of spending Sundays with us, mate. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate all of you. We really
it's like
do.
a loving tonight.
Well, listen, Sam, it's end of season feels, isn't it?
It's lovely.
End of season
I feel like
vibes.
Klopp. I feel like I'm retiring or something.
End of season vibes. And as Scott goes on to say a bit later on, he says, Lee, you will always have those memories. And that's absolutely true, mate. It's that even though he's gone,
he's not dead.
We've had some of the best footballing. I've certainly had some of my best footballing moments ever with this Klopp team. Unbelievable. I don't, I will be talking about Salah, Mane and Firmino and that front three for years. It was that good. Liam Healy with another super chat. Thank you guys for being so generous this evening. We really do appreciate it. Thank you for another great FPL season, Lee and Sam, mate. Thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank all of you for being here. It has been a pleasure.
We love it.
We actually genuinely enjoy it, guys.
Genuinely,
it's why we're here.
Yeah, we love coming here on a Sunday.
This is not hard work for us, but
also, we honestly today for us as both has actually been madness. Like, I know that you missed the bit of the first half because of Max's tournament. I've missed obviously all the games.
Yeah.
Yet there was never a moment where we weren't coming tonight. Like, we were always coming.
On. We just weren't sure what time it was. It might have been midnight.
Yeah, anything could have happened.
Do we even talk about the games today, or do we just go straight into our teams?
I can't really talk about the games, Lee.
Well, we might just touch on it.
Because I don't know what happened.
Not even do any FPL analysis, but we'll get into our teams. And then, guys, we want to, because I want to get onto the pre-season predictions. You've got the envelope. This was, guys, and for those of you that maybe have joined us throughout this season, these are the 2023-2024 predictions. So what we did on a live stream, and you can go back and see this on our channel, it's all there. Game week 1, or in the build up to game week 1, let's say, there would have been a video. And what we do is we get 3 cards, right? And on those cards, we write what my predictions are for the season, your predictions are, and what you guys predicted. And you got in the chat, and the chat goes crazy, doesn't it? And
we love that.
We talk about, it's one of my favourite streams.
Yeah.
and we'll talk about, and we write down what you guys predicted was going to happen in game week 1. Well, how do we think the season was going to end up? We talk about Golden Boot, clean sheets, the Playmaker Award, the top FPL point scorers in each position. So we're going to do that a bit later on, and we're going to find out. We're going to find out who Sam said was going to be Golden Boot for this season. I've got a feeling he's not even in the league anymore. But we're going to talk about that a bit later on. Some of these results, Sam, is it worth running through any of this stuff?
What even happened today?
Well, Arsenal won 2-1. Havertz got one quite late on. But it mattered not because City won 3-1 and won the league.
3-1?
You won 3-0, which was very, very good. 2 from Deki Kulusevski, which nobody was calling as a differential for the final game.
In fact, if anything, Az and I told someone they were mad for thinking about Kulusevski on the live stream yesterday that we did.
Absolutely. But that secures you 5th and Europa League football, so congratulations. Well done for getting
in Europe, yes.
into Europa League football. Man United Brighton was apparently a dull affair, but shock horror, United have come out 2-0 up. The one that I want to keep an eye on, and we'll talk about him in a second because he's in your team. Mateta.
Now I do know about this one.
Who has been absolutely brilliant in the last few weeks. And Aston Villa, no mugs. I know they're tired. I understand all of that. I know they're tired. All the rest of it. But 5-0.
That's what I predicted.
A statement.
That was what I predicted the score to be. So on our Q&A last night, I said I think Crystal Palace is going to smash Villa. Villa have just been on the lash all week. All they've done is celebrate the fact because they were secure. It was all fine. In fact, they had their post-season awards the night that they got it. They were at their awards ceremony when Champions League.
So they've not exactly been training for a trip away to Palace, which is difficult at best
They've
times.
been on the Lashley all week. Right. So I said to Az, I think this game will be 5-0. And he was like, don't be stupid. And so he actually did text me today in our group chat. That's how I know about this game. Because you were going, please stop Mateta. And Az was going, Sam, it's 5-0. And I was like, sorry?
Another big haul that I've missed. And definitely, when I look at my last few weeks of the season, and I was looking at my green and my red arrows of the season. Maybe I'll bring that up in a second. But I was looking at my last... Because I've really petered out this season. It's really tailed off. The last sort of 4 or 5 weeks have really petered out. And he's been a big reason for that because he's been phenomenal, absolute phenomenal. And it's amazing that Glasner's come in with, the same bunch of players that Hodgson had. And, all of a sudden the shackles are off for Elise and Eze and Mateta. These 3 boys in particular must be looking at it going, bloody hell, I wish these shackles had come off earlier because they're proving what I think we all kind of knew in the first place. They're top class.
Yes, but also... not to stand up for Hodgson too much, but they were injured for a lot of this season, Eze and Elise.
Yes, true enough.
So he didn't have all 3 of them together. It's only really Glasner in these last few weeks where he's got all 3 of them fit, firing, and playing well together.
Do you think he keeps all 3 of them there at the club for next year?
I think he'll want to.
Oh, for sure he'll want to.
The question whether somebody big comes in for them...
Do you know what the one thing I will say about both Elise and Eze? Mateta's different, right? But with Elise and Eze, you're right about the injury record. Yet Palace have only had a 38-game season, really.
Yeah. When
you think about if say Elise gets a big money move to a big club, and I'm not saying he shouldn't, and he's a quality player. Same with Eze actually, but both would fit into any of the top 4 or 5 teams, I think, in the league. Suddenly, you're not playing a 38-game season. You're playing a 55-game season, aren't you, potentially?
No, The one thing I would say, though, and we learned it surely with Zaha, is that Palace aren't a selling club. Palace don't go and sell their big players. They do keep them if they can.
Not usually.
So I don't know. Part of me thinks that actually, if I was Elise and Eze and Mateta, it would be hard to turn down a move to a really big club with European football. But at the same time, I think I'd be quite excited about what's going on at Palace in the last few weeks.
Eyes on him for next year,
I agree,
Eyes on it. And in particular, Mateta, he has been a handful. Whenever I've watched him, I'm like, you are a handful, mate. I like him.
He's such a price jump, though, isn't he? Surely.
Well, he's so cheap, and he will go up.
He's been brilliant.
Yeah, he will go up. But Villa, season kind of petered out. But I hadn't realised they were out in the piss all week. So maybe we should have been a bit more on the social media like you and got for the Palace players. What else to say? I mean, the one of the talking points from what we've just had today was the fact that there was a lot of team leaks going on because everyone's playing at the same time. A lot of rumour that Anthony Gordon hadn't travelled and that Isak was going to be benched for this game today. And therefore, a lot of FPL managers moving Isak to their bench because they wanted, a 90 minutes potentially from somebody else. You did it. I did it.
Oh, you did it as well?
I did it. I moved Isak to my bench.
Did you have Porro there as well?
No, Porro was the one I put in.
Oh, okay.
For Isak.
Because I thought you'd bench Porro.
No,
so when I saw the Spurs clean sheet and a Porro goal, I was like, oh, you must be having a nightmare.
Well, that was what I was going to do. And all week, my transfer this week was Walker to Vardiol, right? I just was like, my team looks quite good. What am I going to do? I'm just going to cover that risk off. And it was boring, really. I should have thought about Villa being on the piss and got Mateta. But anyway, I've been flip-flopping between... My biggest decision all week has been, do I bench Isak or do I bench... Given that I assume Gordon's going to be out, am I benching Isak or Porro? And in the end, it was 14 points apiece, I think. So it didn't really make a difference. But, so with that rumour that Isak was benched, I benched him but played Porro instead. So I kind of got away with that, to be honest with you. But you had Cucurella come in for a 1 point, didn't you?
And what's really annoying about it is I swapped him over. So I sold Gordon. That was fine. I did the move I wanted to do. And in doing that, I had to bench somebody. And so Isak was the next bench. So I moved Isak to the bench, and he was originally my first sub. And then I thought, I really wanted to play Cucurella, and I thought Chelsea might clean sheet. And he's got attacking threat. And I was like, if Isak comes on for a 10-minute cameo, I'm going to be peeved.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to really annoy me if Cucurella's kept a clean sheet. So I swapped them.
There's a lot that sold Isak, you know.
Yeah, I just swapped them over. And it's annoying, but it is what it is. I can't even be that angry about it. Like,
yeah,
it's just a frustrating one.
It's one of them, isn't it? You've got to just be super careful with these leaks. They're not going away, right?
But the Gordon one was correct. And that's the thing, is a lot of the leaks were sharing both of those two things at the same time.
Yeah.
So because the Gordon one seemed like it was going to be likely, I thought, well, maybe the Isak one is, and Wilson was rumoured to be back, and I thought, well, maybe he's giving Wilson the start over Isak because Callum's not had a lot of minutes this season, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. Okay. Never mind.
Either way, lesson learnt, I think, for those that sold or benched Isak. Keep a very close eye on the leaks and stuff. That's it. I don't want to talk too much more about it. That is the season as was. A Haaland blank, as most of us captained. Did you captain in this week? You went Palmer, didn't you, in the end?
Palmer.
Which was, kind of unlucky to just get the assist, didn't you, from Palmer?
I think he got a return.
Yeah, just an assist and a bonus point. So,
did he? Oh, that's nice.
So not bad. But most, I think, went for Haaland. So yeah, fair play for going a little bit different with your captaincy again.
First time it's worked.
Paid off. Let's talk about our teams and where we finished up, Sam. So this was me, a small red arrow shock to finish the season. Symptomatic of my last few weeks, actually. And I'll tell you what, why don't I go back to... let me find my season. Because this is quite interesting. I was looking at this. Game week history for the season. So let me bring you back to... sorry, guys, I'm jumping around a bit here. Back to here. So... So again, you can see how my season kind of petered off. This is going to be quite small for those that are watching on like an iPhone or whatever. But you can see, look, from game week 34, which I had a game week rank of 4 million. That was a really bad week for me. A small green arrow after, but then red, and then red, and then red again today. So like the 4 of the last 5 weeks have been red since that shocker of a 34 and a wild card in 35. So just about, even that is a small green, but a bloody wild card is. But it's been red. So it's not been a good start to the season. But when I saw that, I started looking back towards the rest of the season. I was like, where did it go quite... Because I think that my final rank's all right? So where did it go all right? And I'm looking at game week 6 to game week 14. And I had 1 red arrow between 6 and 14. 8 game really weeks nice of green arrows. So there was something... I'm going to... When all's said and done and I've got over my Klopp stuff, I'm going to go back and look at this season and go, okay, well, what did I do between game week 6 and 14 that went so right? Because game week 6 I was sort of loitering around 1.2, so yeah, that's all right. But then look at this week, game week 8. I don't know what happened in game week 8, but almost halved my rank there with a game week rank of 1.6. So it's not like the best game week rank, but a big jump. And then up towards game week 14 when I got into sort of 84k with sort of decent looking ranks. This looks a bit crap, whatever this is. Game week 11. 9.7 million, so I had a stinker there and got away with it. But between 6 and 14 it was all right. So that's not far be it from me to give any of you that are listening to this advice, but it's worth having a look at that. Go back on your season. You can find, if you go to the FPL homepage and go to game week history here on the right hand side, and you can have a look at your entire your entry history for this season, and it'll tell you your ranks and stuff from previous seasons, right? But
also, if you haven't already done so, do change your email stats and allow FPL to send you emails, even if you only do it for this month.
Yeah.
Because then you'll get the potted history of your season sent to you. So you get the overall one that's coming out on I think it's the 24th of May, and then you get a personalised one on the 31st of May. And it's really I really like those emails because they kind of talk you through the decisions that went your way, the ones that didn't go your way, the captaincy, whether you've been a risk taker or not, the weeks that made a difference to you. So if you haven't already done so, just tick the email notifications. Even if you don't want them all the time, you can always turn them back off again in June, but have them on for May.
The guys in the chat know my season better than I do, because they said that's when you got Richarlison early. And I think I did.
Oh yeah, you did.
I did.
You went Richarlison over Son, didn't you?
I got on him early instead of Son, and I rode my luck, and he came in, and that was very, very good for my rank. So yeah, it's that's the story of the season. But the way that this game week ended up was 67. So my total points is 2495. You can see Isak there on the bench, but you can also see that Porro was the one that came in for him last minute when I heard about the leaks and the rumours. Finished up on 2495, 84k as a final for the season. Small red arrow again for this week, like I say. It's been all right. I think because of that Richarlison piece, I think the guys in the chat are right, actually. Because of that Richarlison piece, I got up into 100k within about sort of by 13, 14. And I kind of, I sort of stayed there, and I do kind of look back at it, and I wonder whether I was a bit risk averse through that time. Like, I look back at the season, I wonder, I was kind of steadily chipping away until game week 34, which was a horror show, and then 35 wildcard, and then the final few weeks were not very good, and I went from like 34k to like 80k, and it's still fine. Like top 100k finish is I'm still happy with that, right? But I can't help but feel that once I got into that 100k, I went up to 50, down to 70, up to 60, down to 70, up to 40, down to 8, and I sort of loitered around there forever. I never was in the top 20k, for example. And I do wonder whether I didn't take enough risks this year. Like when I took that risk on Richarlison, look what happened.
Yeah.
Bang. And when I got up there, maybe I then didn't take as many risks. Or maybe the risks I took didn't pay off. Like I went McAllister quite late on in the season, didn't really pay off. I went back to Richarlison and he got that kind of like phantom injury and he was fit, unfit, wasn't he? So maybe they just didn't pay off. I don't know. But maybe that's a learning I can take in going into next season, is that getting into the top 100k is great, but don't think, maybe I thought, I'd be happy to finish there. Whereas what I actually probably should have done was gone, okay, well, how do we get to the next bit, the next bit? I don't know. But anyway, 84k for me throughout the season. So it's all right. It's fine compared to where I was last season. I've just got to find out what my rank last season, if I do remember it. 48k last season, 115 before, 69, 66, 68 before that. So there you go. That's it. So me finishing 80k is kind of symptomatic as where I like to finish, somewhere between 40 and 80k. It's almost, there's something in me that probably goes, you're happy, you're happy to get to that. Yeah. Well, actually, I probably should be going, no, come on, how do you push? How do you push? And maybe I don't take the risk then to push on. I don't know, but that 40 to 60k really haunts me a little bit. It haunts me. Anyway, 84k. So yeah, that's it. That's the end of the season. A green arrow for you this week. I like the Harvey Elliott shout. There's a couple of, I like this new risky Sam that's been playing over the last few weeks, trying to get up the ranks. There's been some ballsy calls, not least captaincy on Palmer this week, and Elliott with the 6, Mateta in with the 20 as well. So ain't bad this week. No,
Christmas killed me.
Christmas did kill you.
Christmas killed me. I was having such a great season.
It definitely did.
And I need to go back and think about what happened over that Christmas period. I think in part it was not making decisions because of AFCON and the Asian Cup.
Right.
And I think for me that was the thing that really hurt, is that I was so aware of what January might look like that I didn't make decisions that I wanted to make because I was thinking too much about Salah's going and Son's going and what am I doing with my transfers and how do I plan for that period of time. And I actually think that had quite a big impact on that period of my season.
Yeah.
And then the last 4 or 5 weeks, I don't know whether... So you say you like the Rogue Sam. And I must admit, I've enjoyed it. However...
Stressful, though?
No, I haven't found it stressful.
No?
No. But it has killed me in part. because
Yeah.
Had I captained Haaland not this week, but for the last 2 weeks, had I captained Haaland,
Yeah.
I probably would have finished inside the top 100k.
Yeah.
This week, and that frustrates the hell out of me because my aim this season was obviously the top 10k, and at points I genuinely thought that was on. I remember sitting here on Christmas thinking a top 10k finish here is definitely on the cards. That's definitely still doable. And then it killed me. And then from about February onwards, I was thinking if I can just get inside the top 100k, that's where I'll be happy. And I've yo-yoed about like a nightmare in that period of time.
Do you think that you've been playing against rivals rather than playing against yourself? I've asked you that question before, and I think you answer, and because you've talked a lot on these live streams about I've got to beat Jules, I've got to beat Kelly, and you've got to beat me, and then Ian kind of come up on the rails, didn't he? And you're guys, I can't tell you how much work and effort Sam puts into that official FPL podcast. I'm not saying the other guys don't, but you write it and do all the content and everything, and like you do so much into it. And you love it as well.
I love it, yeah.
So, and I know that you love it. That's why it's so good, because all of you are great together, right? But I don't know. Have you like over-invested in it? Because there's so much like, oh, I have to beat Jules, I have to beat Kelly, and now Ian's coming up, and I'm like, you've been playing against others and making decisions based on what others are doing rather than just playing the game.
No, I don't think that's happened.
Okay.
I think that's inaccurate. I think I have absolutely been focused on playing my own game, because it's not been. So the way that it's all for me, it's always been about overall rank, and I use people, you, Kelly, Jules, whoever it is, as stepping stones to hit the overall rank that I'm looking for. So when I'm looking ahead, it was like, right, who's next? Of my friends, who's the next person that's ahead of me, and can I move to them? Because if I can get ahead of them, I'm gaining 50k in overall rank.
Yeah.
Because actually for me, what I find quite overwhelming is being at 200, 300k, wanting a top 10k finishing and seeing that it's 190 points. Like for me, that feels, I mean, I've just made that up.
Daunting, isn't it?
That's for me, that's quite overwhelming. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, God, I've got to make some absolutely rogue decisions to make that work. I've got every transfer's got to work out. So for me, I can't look at it like that. I have to kind of chunk it and think, right, where's next? So I'll either do it by what's Live FPL telling me about the next milestone.
Yeah.
So if I'm at 100, 200k, what's it telling me about 150k, and how have I got to get there? Or if there's a person that I know and love within that marker, can I get to them?
Yeah.
And that's just how that's not a new thing. That's how I've always played FPL. The seasons I find hardest, weirdly, are the ones where I'm leading, because then I'm really acutely aware of what everyone else is doing. Then I feel the pressure, because then I'm thinking, who's behind me and how are they going to catch me? Whereas when I'm behind, I'm not too focused on that. I'm just focused on, I'm using you as my next step to move forward. So yes, I mean, I love the pod. I do take it very seriously, but you know, I don't look at it and go, I have to beat them.
Yeah.
Not any stretch. I just like to use them as stop points, if you like.
Yeah.
Am I pleased? Yeah. I mean, I'm annoyed at myself for the sack thing, but that's what it is.
Harvey Elliott's a nice shout, and I tell you what, he's brilliant today.
Yeah.
He was brilliant. And I heard there was a stat that Sky reeled out. I didn't know this. I'm going to get this wrong. Chat, can you find this stat for me? He's now got the most assists since the turn of the year, other than KDB in the league.
I just...
I'm like, he doesn't even play every game.
I couldn't get Salah.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a route to Salah. I didn't want to sell Son for the final game. I could not bring myself for Spurs to go to Sheffield United away and have no Spurs. I just couldn't do it. So I was looking at that thinking, okay, I need some, I can't get Salah. What can I do? And there were quite a few Liverpool players I could have afforded, to be fair. I could have gone with Luis Diaz. I absolutely...
Gakpo was popular, wasn't he?
I absolutely thought... Yeah. So, but Harvey Elliott was my... I said it to you, didn't I, on Thursday when we were recording Ohana. I just had this thing that I wanted to have Harvey Elliott. And I couldn't shake it. And the more it went through, and I did today, when the Isak rumour came, I thought, do I just play it safe and go Gakpo instead? Because we'd seen a leak that said that Gakpo was going to play. So do I just play it safe?
Yeah.
And then I thought, no, be true to what you think is going to happen and just get Elliot.
It'd be interesting to see where Elliot fits into the Arnie Slot system next year, if he does at all. And I'm going to assume he does because he's one of our best players, if not our best young player in the team. I think he's brilliant. You know that I love him. Every time he comes on the screen, I think he's absolutely brilliant. And the way that he talks in his post matches and stuff, I think he's really, really good. The challenge he's got in this Klopp system is that in his where he prefers to play, he's got Szoboszlai, he's got McAllister.
Yes.
And he can play wide right, but Mr. Salah's there, isn't he? So
is he still there?
Oh,
let's not talk about it. You'll get upset again.
I'm starting to think that he might be. He might be. But I don't know.
I thought Kane might be as well, Lee. I hate to break it to you.
The way that they said goodbye to Matip and Thiago today, it was a bit like if Salah was going to go.
But Salah's not at end of contract like them.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. He might do.
No one's in for him yet.
I thought he'd be leaving last season, right? I thought we'd lose him last summer, but I don't know. Is the Saudi league on the upward trajectory that it was kind of this time last year? I don't know. Is it just going to go the way of the Chinese? Do you remember China when China bought all those players in the Chinese Super League and it was great for a year or two? It's crap. Is the Saudi league the same? I don't know. The difference is the Saudis have got a World Cup, haven't they, to play for? So they need their league to be. They need their league to be elite. And the one thing they are massively missing and have been missing is a superstar Muslim player, right? And he fits the bill. Better than anyone on the planet. Does he want to go to Saudi Arabia? Well, for however many million a week, maybe he would. I don't know. Maybe he would. Maybe he sees the changing of the guard at Liverpool as maybe an option to do that. But listen,
I must admit though, it was nice to end the season with a green.
Yeah, it's good.
My aim going into this week was to finish with a 100 and something rank.
Yeah,
that was the aim going into today.
Good.
So I've achieved that. Am I happy with it? Of course not. However.
Yeah.
As actually things have gone the last few weeks, it's fine.
Good. All right. Well, finishing 192k and with me finishing 86k, that does mean that I need to hand you the wooden spoon trophy. If only we knew where it was.
It's over there.
Is it over there?
But you're not giving it to
already
me.
in your office.
You're
it's
not
fine. Take your pride of place.
You have given it's lived in my office for 4 years. You've had it for 4 years.
Can you go and get it?
No.
So I can hand it to you.
Absolutely not, because you have.
I can't get it.
Listen, that is yours.
Is it?
Why? Because it's like a hat-trick ball. You win it that many times on the bounce, you have to keep it. So if you want to give me a trophy for coming last...
Why are you getting all defensive and grumpy?
Because that's yours. We said that when you got it for the 4th time, that it was yours to keep from now on. And you'd have to get me a new one.
Oh, well, at the end of each season, we always do the inaugural
passing
of the trophy. But, you know... What? You just made this up about this hat-trick thing. What is it?
No.
Go and get the trophy. Go
I'm
on.
very tired, Lee, and you're making me get up. Midstream.
Go on, get the trophy.
I don't like you very much.
We always hand the trophy over. Come on, this is the thing. This is what we do. This is how we roll.
It can live in your office because it's been here in mine for 4 years.
So, guys, those of you... Those of you that
it's
are new...
not been easy for me to get that either. Look, I have to get back in.
Oh my God,
I think we need a new chair for next season. This one's the bum's gone. I've got no seat.
Can you stop ruining my moment? I'm about to hand you the trophy.
Shut up.
George is in the chat just going, domestic. So, guys, this is, for those of you that are new to FPL Family, this is our wooden spoon trophy. The wooden spoon trophy. So this gets given to whoever
Lee.
Out of Sam and I comes second in the FPL Family household.
I'd actually like to just can I just stop you for a sec?
Mm.
Max beat me today.
In what?
Max went above me today.
Did he?
So I actually came third.
You came third in the FPL household.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say the word last, Sam, but you're going to make me say it. So this comes to whoever comes last in the FPL Family household. Year upon year, this has been a privilege to look after this trophy. And keep it in your office.
It's my office.
Keep it in your office. But it has. I have been the custodian of this for many, many years. But this year, Sam, at 86k and with you at 192k, I proudly present you with this year's wooden spoon trophy. Congratulations.
I'd like to thank my mum, my dad.
Phil Foden for not getting in for weeks. I'd like to thank him.
I had him.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Mateta for trying his best to not get me.
You're like Conor McGregor. I'd like to thank absolutely no one.
Yeah, you'll find this in your office tomorrow morning.
Right, there we go. So there we go. That is Adam Stevo saying rub it in a bit more, Lee.
God,
Adam,
sorry guys.
Adam, I very rarely get this. George Day is saying she's going to slap in. Andrew Yee has got the slap emojis going.
There won't be any domestic violence.
Ian B.
He'll just be sleeping in the garage.
Ian B. Ian B. Well done, Sam. Third in a 2-horse race. It's like a Spurs and they come third. Ian B. absolutely savaged you, hasn't he? He's absolutely savaged you. Oh dear. But Jenny saying congratulations, Sam. Well done, Sam. Congratulations. Right, before we get to our pre-season predictions,
at least my manager's
guys,
not left.
Before we get to our... Oh, don't... Why have you said that?
Just saying.
That's really horrible.
Well, he don't love you anymore.
You know I'm emotional.
Klopp don't love you anymore.
I didn't do this with you and Harry Kane.
Klopp don't love you now. It's basically like when your parents get divorced and your dad goes off and you never see him again. That's what's happening now.
What are you keeping your Thursday nights free next season? Because next season...
Yeah! Europa League time! I'm well excited to be back in Europe. I've missed European football this year.
Dear me.
It's all right because I bet you we stay in Europa League
Kingdom
longer.
FC, thank you. That's excessive, Sam. Thank you. John Tyner, Sam, don't go there. Yeah.
Well, look, shut up, Liverpool
Sam
fans.
is a sore loser, they're saying.
You Liverpool fans, you go back to crying. Go on.
Paul Cook says, don't worry, Sam, I came 6.3 million. Well done, Paul. Love that.
Yeah, Paul. I've got something you can have. Here you are.
Paul, it's in the post, mate. It's in the post, mate. Love that. That's why we're here, for shit like that. I love that. Brilliant from Paul. Right, before we do pre-season predictions, Sam, we have to give a massive shout out to our friends at Fantasy Football Scout. We couldn't do what we do without Fantasy Football Scout. I don't actually have the members area in front of me because we are this is a no analysis stream, right? This is just a farting about stream, right? But usually I will have the members area here where every Sunday we'll talk about, who did the most crosses, who was XD underachievers, all that sort of stuff.
You started using the new one yet?
No, I haven't. We can't do what we do on a Sunday night without access to that members area and what Scout do. So thank you, Fantasy Football Scout, for supporting us throughout the whole season. And if you want to become a member at Fantasy Football Scout, don't know if now's the best time. Probably
yes,
not.
now is the best time because we'll be covering the
Euros Fantasy.
There's Euros
Here
Fantasy is live. We'll be covering that.
Yes.
And that just puts you in good stead ready for the Euros competition, which will kick off. Well, I mean, you can pick your Euros Fantasy team now and obviously kicks off in June.
How do you play Euros Fantasy? Where can people find that?
You go to the UEFA website in the same way that you would play Champions League football. It's basically a replica of Champions League Fantasy. You can play that this year, Liverpool. Champions League
Max and I started collecting the Tops stickers today. Like the Panini equivalent, so I know all the players.
Why have we got 2 different sticker collections in our house, Lee?
Because one's the Marks and Spencer's England one with 50 stickers. That's not exciting, is it? But one is the full-on 500 stickers in Tops.
alone
and it's like...
for literally half a day, and you've gone out and bought 2 different sticker collections.
Guess which England player we got first? We got one England sticker. Guess who we got? Jordan Pickford. It's coming home in it. Jordan Pickford. Love that.
Have you got Kane yet?
No, we haven't got Harry Kane.
That's a shame. So Fantasy Football Scout will be covering all things Euros Fantasy. So now is a good time to sign up.
Knowing that when the new FPL season starts, you're already a member. You'll get all of that goodness when FPL
And I can't tell you what, but there's a lot of really blooming exciting things coming for the new season.
Oh, I know one of the things.
Shush.
I know one of the things that Scout is doing for next season, guys.
You be shush now, please. No,
you be shush. Good. It's going to be well good. You guys, you need to get onto fantasyfootballscout.co.uk. Have a look. It's already amazing. It's already great. But there's something coming next season.
Going out with my Scout family this week. We've got Scout camp
You're
this
gonna
week.
Love it. You're going to love it.
We're doing a lot of planning for the new season. We're going out
it.
for a couple of nights out. I'm very, very excited to see my Scout family this week.
You're going to love it. Oliver's saying what a team. Oliver, honestly, I will
sorry,
be divorced. We cannot say, but
I've been working
really
on it for
good.
a very long time, and it is brilliant.
You'll love it, guys. You'll love it. Anyway,
just sign up.
Move on before I get divorced. Let's get on to, Sam, our pre-season predictions. Mr. Phil Foden, yeah.
Why has he got a match ball? Didn't get
another
Hattie,
double
did he?
today.
Yeah, but you don't get a mash ball for that, Phil.
Well...
What's he carrying the ball around for?
I don't know, Sam. Please, can we just get on to...
No, that's for giving to me.
Right,
I always do
Premier League, Fantasy League predictions, all this... Whoa, what? You're not going to let me build up a little bit? It's ripped it open. I was going to sort of give it a bit of a build-up. No?
No.
No build-up?
Yeah, go on, build it up then.
She just ripped it off. What's going on?
Go on.
Oh dear, I can tell you're a bit tired.
Oh,
right.
I'm so tired.
Right. Pre-season predictions, guys. So back in game week 1 or even pre-game week 1, George is like, that was an angry rip. you're not wrong, George. Pre-game week 1,
it's exciting.
We do a live stream, and what we will do is we will ask you guys, and we also write down as well, our points, our predictions for the season. So don't look, why have you got that face on?
Yours.
So what we've asked of you, or what we did ask of you, and what we're going to reveal now is we talk about the top 4. So you guys and we will have we predicted the top 4 back in game week 1. We will also have predicted the bottom 3. We'll have predicted the Golden Boot winner. We'll have predicted the Playmaker Award, the player with the most assists. You've got the answers to all of these, by the way.
I've written the answers.
You've got the answers.
I went and looked them up.
Remind me what else we've got. Golden Boot assists, Golden Gloves, most saves or most clean sheets?
Clean sheets.
Most clean sheets. And then we've got the
top point scoring defender, midfielder, forward.
So top FPL point scorer, mid, def, and forward.
And then the best differential punt.
Surprise differential, I think we called it, if I'm right. The surprise differential. And then, of course, we always ask you guys whether you are going to go for Team Lee to win this season or Team Sam to win this season. So we obviously know the answer to that. We're going to find out what your prediction was. We're going to find out whether I backed myself. We're going to find out whether you backed yourself.
You never back yourself.
Please, may I have my card? Thank you very much. I forgot. It's the first time I've looked at this, obviously, because it's been in that envelope. And I've forgotten completely what I wrote.
Do you want to know the...
Right. I think I've done all right here. Okay. What are we starting with? Pre-season predictions, top 4. Top 4 pre-season predictions, Sam. What did the FPL family community, you lovely people, what did the FPL family community predict who was going to be champions?
Man City.
Well done, guys. You predicted Man City champions. I predicted Man City champions.
I went Liverpool.
You went Liverpool? Did you?
But I said it all year. I thought Liverpool were going to win. And then you went and fell apart right at the death. Wow. Klopp said he was leaving and you decided you couldn't play football anymore.
Didn't get Champions League football last year and you thought we'd go from that straight to first.
Yeah.
Oh, I like... Well,
listen, I thought you made some great signings last summer.
We did. Yeah,
and I
we
thought
did.
that was going to be it.
I thought that'd take some time to bed in. I didn't have us as champions, I'll be honest. Not champions, but anyway.
It's a bit of a shame you didn't back your own team, really.
Well, I was right not to. We weren't champions.
You were right in it till the death, and then Klopp said he was going, and you decided you couldn't play anymore. Did you know Klopp's leaving? Are you feeling sad about that?
Who did the community say was going to be 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in that order, Sam? 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Well, they were very impressive to be
They'd already got Man City right. What did they say?
They then went for Arsenal in 2nd.
Guys.
Tick.
Guys.
Well done.
Let's go.
They then went Liverpool in 3rd.
Ooh, you guys. Who'd they go 4th?
Well...
Oh.
It all fell apart then because there must have been, I'm going to say, that like Aaron and Duncan and
United got United, don't they?
The weird United fans thought that they were going to be all right. They went for Man United.
Went for Man United.
So 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Guys, you predicted, guys, City, Arsenal, Liverpool in that order and you were spot on. You just went with Man United 4th. Listen, no problem with that whatsoever.
What'd you do?
I went for City and Arsenal.
Okay. 2.
3rd, I went Man United.
Oh, for goodness sake.
And then 4th, I went Liverpool.
Okay.
City, Arsenal, went for the top 2, got that right. Why did we all think Man United were going to be the ones? Onana, I suppose. Højlund coming in, big promise. I don't know. Anyway, City, Arsenal, Man U, Liverpool was my prediction. What was yours?
Well, I had the top 3 all in the wrong order. So I had Liverpool, City, Arsenal.
You went Liverpool, City, Arsenal. Okay.
So they were all there, but in the wrong place. And then, of course, I backed myself. Put Spurs in 4th.
Of course you did.
Which, to be fair, we nearly got there.
Of course you did.
No one had Villa in 4th, did they?
Right, this is the bit where... that's a win for the community.
Win.
Right? That's a win for you guys over us, definitely.
Yep,
absolutely
you
brilliant.
win.
Superb stuff. Relegation then.
Yeah.
18th. Who did the community relegate first in 18th? Should we start from the bottom?
Bottom up, yeah.
20th. Who did the community say we were going to be rock bottom?
Luton.
Me too. I said Luton.
Me too.
We all went Luton.
I mean, we all had a load of faith in them, didn't we?
We thought Luton were going to be rock bottom. Listen.
And they weren't. They were the last to go.
Yeah.
And did they win today? Did they win today?
No, I think they lost.
They lost today. Oh, sad times.
But still, we all went rock bottom for Luton, which I think I think was the general consensus at the beginning of the season, given that if I remember right, there's a lot of narrative about the fact that their stadium is surrounded by wheelie bins and stuff, and I think
you had to go in through a house.
Yeah, I think none of us are really back in Luton. So yes, okay. So Luton 20th, 19th. The community said
Wolves. What? Why were you thinking Wolves were going to go down?
I went Sheffield United 19th. Who did you go?
Yeah, Sheffield United.
Sheffield United. So Sheffield United. You guys Wolves. That's interesting because I had Wolves 18th. Did you have Wolves at all?
No.
Interesting. So what was going on at Wolves then? Cast your minds back. Can't remember. Honestly, can't remember. Early on in the season, Wolves.
They've had a manager change, but that was during season.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
And sort of like financial issues or something. I don't know.
I
can't remember. Anyway.
Did they sell people? Maybe they
neither you guys nor me were convinced that Wolves were going to stay up. But they had a really bad pre-season, Adam Stevo says. Yeah.
Did they?
Manager left at the start. Lopetegui left right before the season started.
Yeah, that's why.
Limici, you're right. Lopetegui left, didn't he? And we were all like, oh, that's them done then. And they didn't have Gary O'Neill at the time. So we're all, all predicting. You didn't. Fair play. So you went what? Luton, Sheffield United and...
West Ham.
West Ham! Nice. Nice, West Ham. Brilliant. Had a good season under David Moyes. There we go.
What did I think was up with them? Maybe I thought that they were like... It couldn't get any better after winning the conference.
They just won a major European trophy and you've relegated them.
Declan Rice.
Yeah, it's not a reason for them to get relegated though, is it?
They weren't great, were they?
West Ham?
I don't know.
Oh, at least Wolves
You laugh at me, but the community also relegated West Ham.
No, they didn't.
They did, yeah.
You guys were for West Ham.
Over Sheffield United. They had Luton, Wolves and West Ham as their bottom three. You guys.
Well, maybe the narrative was there for West Ham to go down then. We've got that one wrong,
you
guys. I had Luton, Sheffield United, Wolves.
All right, so we both got 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. So
So we take the win for that. You can't have a win with Wolves and West Ham, guys.
Yeah, guys, Wolves and West Ham. Sorry, guys, you can't take the dub there. We'll take that one. Golden Boot, Sam. Well, who did the community have as Golden Boot?
Haaland.
Me too.
So I put Kane.
God.
Brackets Haaland because clearly I was like, if Kane, and I remember doing this as well. I remember being like, oh, I want to go Kane, but what if he leaves? I'll better put Haaland brackets in case he doesn't.
So you put Kane brackets Haaland?
Yeah. So, and I remember saying, is it all right to do that on the stream? And we agreed, I think it was okay. So we all went Haaland basically because Kane left.
Brilliant. Right, so you guys said Haaland,
correct,
I said Haaland. You get a dub, I get a dub, you get half a point.
No, I'm getting the whole point.
No, you can't get half a point for brackets Haaland. Brackets Haaland? I've gone 100% Haaland, backed him from the start. The community backed him.
At least my club still got the manager.
You backed a player that's back to lead the league.
Your one's left.
Shut up. Most assists, the Playmaker Award, most assists this season. Who did the community say?
Well, it seems that they couldn't agree either.
Oh, it was a split.
It seems it was a split
Fury
because we've written Ødegaard/Bruno.
2 not bad shouts, guys.
Bruno's been pretty poor this season.
Who was most assists this season?
It was Ollie Watkins.
Was it really?
13 assists.
God, what a season he's had.
Yeah, no one saw that coming.
Bruno and
Ødegaard's a great shout.
Ødegaard must be up there.
Well, Bruno's.
Do you know he created the most chances in the league, Bruno, this year?
Yeah, but that's
for
fine.
The second season in a row.
Well, you can be creative when you've got a pile of poo around you who don't return anything from it.
It's true.
Sorry, United fans.
I went for Bruno. I went for Bruno Fernandes, interestingly. Who did you go for?
I think I've put Salah.
Salah. Well, listen, at the start of the season, he was more of a playmaker than he was a goal scorer, if you remember.
Yeah.
He was a bit more of an assist machine. So, who takes a dub for that one? None of us, really.
I don't think anyone can have that.
Ollie Watkins.
Ødegaard probably is the highest one, but they couldn't agree. I think we just say none of us get any
points for anyone.
We was all a bit rubbish there, guys.
No points. But then again, I don't think anyone saw Ollie Watkins having the season that he was going to have.
And maybe it was Cole Palmer in second. I think it was. I think Cole Palmer's got 2 assists less than Watkins. None of us certainly thought that Cole Palmer was going to...
Well, I'm telling you right now, no spoiler alert for the rest of my sheet, what I've got here, but Cole Palmer does not feature at all on my card.
No.
At all, and nor does Watkins.
And yet he was in the race for the Golden Boot. Well, he's second for Playmaker.
Unbelievable. He just come out of nowhere,
he's young
didn't
player of the season, wasn't he?
Come out of nowhere. And I'm
Premier
pretty
League
sure
young player of the season.
There's nobody on the community's cards that's got Cole Palmer.
No.
He's just taken the league by storm. Absolutely brilliant. Especially coming in at, $5 million in FPL. He's been a gift, isn't he? Been an absolute
he dropped,
gift.
didn't he? He dropped under 5 million.
So good. Yeah. Anyway, so that is the league predictions. So that is the Premier League predictions. Now we get to the FPL predictions.
No, goalkeepers, clean sheets.
Oh, sorry, most clean sheets. Yes, most clean sheets. The community said?
Oh,
Onana.
There must have been so many United fans in this chat.
There was a lot of promise. Listen, when he come to United, no one thought he was going to be a clown like he is. It was all about he's good with his feet. There'll be a better defensive. That's why I've got him third. I thought he's going to change the way they play. He's perfect for their style. He's exactly what they need.
Okay.
And a lot of people, there was narrative there. There definitely was. I don't think you could be digging out the community for that. I went Edison.
Well, I wanted Liverpool to win the league, apparently, so I went Alisson.
Well, listen, listen. The answer was, in the end?
Raya.
Of course, David Raya, of course.
Yeah.
Who at the time would have been at Brentford, so nobody would have said him.
No, he was at Arsenal by the time.
Was he? No,
By the time we did the predictions, he started the season at Arsenal.
Did he?
Yes, because I remember we all had that moment of like, who's the goalkeeper? Is it Raya or is it Ramsdale?
Not sure about that.
Raya started the season with them.
Duncan's saying it's not Onana's fault. We had no defence for half a season. You're not far from the truth there, Duncan. But nevertheless, there was for sure a lot of Onana narrative at the beginning of the season. The guys are saying, no, he didn't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Raya did.
When did he go?
Ramsdale had a bunch of games, definitely.
When did Raya go,
Definitely.
though? Did he not sign before the season started?
No.
Did he not?
No.
When did he sign?
100% not. Ramsdale started the first few games for sure.
No, I'm not saying he didn't start the first few games. I'm saying, was he not there? I think at the beginning that he was there. It's just that he wasn't starting.
Charlie saying end of August. Yeah, you're probably right, Charlie. I can't even think that far back.
I'll have to look it up.
Anyway, none of us had Raya in a sweepstake, right? None of us have gone for Raya for most clean sheets. Edison, Alisson, we went a bit safe. You guys have gone for Onana, so you definitely can't have the dub for that. I don't know whether any of us can, actually. I don't think we'll take any points there. No one saw Arsenal being as good as they have ended up being. I noticed, I saw a stat saying that Saliba has played all bar about 100 minutes of this season. He's just been unbelievably good, isn't he? Unbelievably good. And the likes of Gabriel alongside him.
Surprised it's even been 100 minutes, to be honest.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. All right, so that is the Premier League predictions. Top scoring FPL defender, Sam. Who did the community say?
Guys had Chilwell.
That's an interesting one. Chilwell.
Well, there was a lot of your
Didn't he
favourite...
have a really good pre-season?
Well, there was a lot of your favourite word, narrative.
A lot of narrative
around
rhetoric, wasn't there?
Reece James and Chilwell and the vice-captain captaincy.
Yes, there was. And there was a lot of talk about Poch coming in. He loves the wingers. Chilly's perfect for it. I can see why you guys went for Chilwell. And listen, he's been injured for a lot of the season. So, it could have been all very different for him. I played it massively safe. I went with Trent.
I went with Trent. Well, look, apparently I thought Liverpool were going to be all things to all people.
Alisson, Golden Gloves, Trent top defender, Liverpool to win the league. God, dearie, obviously my influence on you. So I went Trent top defender. Who was top defender in the end? It's got to be an Arsenal boy, isn't it?
Yes, Ben White.
Ben White. There we go. God, no one's got Ben White in the sweepstake. Have they? Look at that. Unbelievable.
Ben White.
Raya signed 15th of August, John Tyner said. So he could have been there
so
for
literally game week 2.
Yeah. Could have been there for game, but not before the season, as you suggested. Right, no, again, no points all round for that one. Midfielders. Now, I've cheated a bit here. I've gone for 2 because I couldn't decide.
Stop.
But the community went with who for midfielders?
Salah.
Yeah, I've gone Salah stroke Rashford. That went well.
Rashford's so bad this year. I had Salah.
I wonder whether I was going like, Trent, Salah, and you can guess who my forward is. When I look at it, I'm thinking that's really safe. So maybe I just went Rashford in mids. Who did you have?
Salah.
So Salah all round, and it was Cole, wasn't it? In the end,
Palmer.
Oh, no one's got him, have they? So no points. Forward, I went Haaland.
They did. The community.
Community went for Haaland.
I did the Kane brackets Haaland thing again.
Please. Oh, dear
because
me.
I remember thinking if Kane stays under Postecoglou, this is going to be epic.
Getting a bit of stick in the chat for Rashford. It's probably warranted, to be honest.
Yeah, because I was thinking, right, Postecoglou is attacking system. We're going to have James Maddison and Kane together. Oh, it's going to be brilliant.
Postecoglou's attacking system.
Yeah.
Before the season, you had no idea about Postecoglou's system.
We were great
How
in
much of Celtic had you been watching?
Shh, we were brilliant in pre-season.
Rubbish.
You can juggle.
Anyway,
you can disappear off with Klopp.
The answer was Haaland, or was it Watkins?
It was Watkins.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, so we're wrong again, even though we've gone for
Wrong.
Haaland. All right, this is interesting. Now this is an interesting one because I've got a couple here. I'd like to get your thoughts on this. Surprise FPL differential of the season. This is where it gets interesting. Community said. I think they had a few.
They had loads.
Yeah.
Harvey Barnes. When he's played, he's actually been decent.
When he's played, that's not a bad shout, guys, because when he's been fit, he has been very good on the left hand side.
He's been very badly injured, hasn't
he had a real bad one, didn't he?
Diaby.
Villa's Diaby.
And was brilliant in the early part of the season. Has tailed off.
And had a good pre-season, didn't he?
No, but I think he was just new and exciting.
Coming in from Leverkusen and all that.
I think we just all.
Bailey?
I think we were all quite excited about him under.
From Leverkusen, Diaby or Bailey? Bailey, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Where did Diaby come from?
I don't know.
Can't remember.
But I remember we were all thinking under Emery, like, I think this could be a really nice partnership with Watkins and all of that stuff. And then they also had Garnacho.
Oh, okay. So what? Harvey Barnes, Garnacho, and Diaby. Guys, that's not bad. That's not bad. I'll give you some points for that.
Yeah.
Surprise differential. There's a few in there. They've all been FPL relevant.
Yeah.
At one stage in the season or another, right? I like that. My surprise differentials, Brian Mbeumo. Because I thought with the Tony ban, he's going to be the one that comes to the fore. He's going to take the pens, which I think was right for a big.
He was good in early part of the season.
Then again, injuries and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then since Tony's been back, it's not quite been the same. But while he was the main man, I think that's
he got injured as well.
That's a decent shout, actually, Mbeumo. I'll give myself a pound back for that.
I'd put Diaby. But I remember being obsessed with Diaby in pre-season. I spoke about him a lot.
Yeah.
I had him in my Game Week 1 team.
I had Mbeumo and I had Gakpo. I thought it might be a bit of a breakthrough season for Gakpo.
I'm surprised you didn't have Darwin.
No, not after last season. I'm not going to go for Darwin. Gakpo and Mbeumo. I think I will give myself a point for Mbeumo, but Gakpo, I can't take that, can I?
You can't give yourself a point.
I think I can for Mbeumo. Pre-game week 1, no Tony. I think we're all thinking Mbeumo might be quite good. And I've gone surprise differential for the season. He was in a lot of game week 1 teams, wasn't he? It wasn't. That sounds like a more outrageous shout now than it did in game week 1.
He was popular in game week 1.
Because he was popular in game week 1.
I think you've cheated there.
It's not really a surprise differential.
I think you've cheated and now you're trying to claim a point for it. I think it's outrageous, to be honest.
Anyway, and Mbeumo and Gakpo for me, did you have?
Diaby.
Okay.
Who was lowly owned.
Oh, yeah, okay. There we go, guys. That is it. That is...
Why have you thrown that at me?
Predictions done for another season. And that is us done for another season here on FPL Family. Guys, thank you so much.
What are we going to do on a Sunday night?
For joining us. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you to all our patrons, because our patrons put up with our guff and waffle in the Slack all week. And then they come here on a Sunday and they listen to more guff and waffle. It's been absolutely unbelievable. But
by the way, guys, the Slack's still going to be full of guff and waffle.
Oh, it will still be plenty of guff and waffle.
We'll still be there talking nonsense with you.
Yeah, totally. I imagine, especially if it comes home. Do you know what I mean? I mean, that is.
Even if it don't come home.
I'm fully in England mode now. Like, this shirt's coming off. I'm going to get the New England shirt on.
I've got mine.
Full on. Yeah, you've
got
one.
There.
You've got one.
You didn't want one.
It's been properly a brilliant season. And actually, I feel like I said at the beginning of the stream, it's become a little bit more than just a sort of. Oh god, it's getting really deep, isn't it? It's the last show. It's got a little bit more than just like a FPL community now. There's more to it now, isn't there?
Are you all right today, dear?
I'm still emotional about Klopp.
Oh god,
I'm still emotional. But it's become a lot more than that, particularly with the patrons in the Slack. It's been really a pleasure to be FPLing with you guys. There's a few of you guys saying, what is the Slack? So if you want to check out patreon.com/FPL Family, all the links are in the description below. Probably not a great time to join us, by the way, because there's not going to be a lot of content for the next month. We are going to
Unless you're playing Euros Fantasy, because I'm going to be playing, so I'll give you some content on that.
Are you going to be doing some Patreon content?
We'll do some stuff with the patrons, yeah.
All right, okay.
Well, because I'm going to play, so we'll set up a chat in there.
That's all right. I'm going to be absolutely nowhere near Euros Fantasy because I don't want to play any fantasy football for at least another month and a half, so I can have a bit of time off. And look forward to watching Arnie Slot tactical videos to find out what the hell is going to happen next year. But thank you all for joining us. It's been a pleasure, as always. Season 7 of FPL Family is done. Give us a high five. Don't leave me hanging. That'd be embarrassing live on air. Thank you. And we will see you back in August, I would assume, or probably before that, when the game gets released. We will do a few videos in July and stuff, won't we? Pre-season stuff.
Whenever the game goes live, I guess.
We will see you all in a few weeks. It will all come round quicker than you think. But for now, guys, well done on finishing the 23-24 season. Enjoy a few weeks off. Just don't go even just think yet, about it for a few weeks.
Because we've got a pod. I've got a pod and a fantasy show to record tomorrow, so don't go just yet. Stick around and watch me do those two things.
I'll stop
tomorrow.
what I was going to say then. Yeah.
You normally ask me what we're up to this week, and you haven't because it's the end. But we are doing the official FPL pod tomorrow. And then I have got the fantasy show tomorrow too, so don't go just yet.
Ignore everything I just said, guys,
Tuesday.
and spend one more day.
Just give me one more day, guys.
With fantasy, because Sam will be doing a fantasy show where she reviews the whole season and a podcast, which I completely knew about. So forget everything I said. One more day of fantasy listening to Sam, and then you've got a whole month off. Thank you for joining us, guys. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you in a few weeks when we will do season 8 of FPL Family. We're going to do it all over again and start from scratch. We love you. Leave us a like, hit subscribe, all that nonsense, and we'll see you soon. Cheers, guys.
Thanks for everything, guys. See you next season.